People confuse being unsafe with being uncomfortable. On this NSP Short, Dr. Whitney Lackenbauer explains the difference and argues the merits of intellectual discomfort.
And one of the other mantras that students hear me say all the time is there's a difference between being unsafe and uncomfortable. No one wants to be unsafe. No one wants to be in contexts where we're unsafe. But it's not the same as feeling uncomfortable, and being intellectually uncomfortable where you're constantly testing ideas and assumptions is actually a great privilege. It's why I love being a professor, is I'm constantly being challenged. And what a gift to be able to be constantly challenged intellectually. And I think that was something that right from a young age, was instilled in me to kind of look beyond and ask questions and then seek answers, and realizing sometimes those answers or even those questions put you in a position where you're not expecting them.
Mm. Yeah, the uncomfortable, unsafe one is an important point, and I tend to think that people who conflate those have probably never had the experience of truly feeling unsafe.
Yeah, wonderful point, Chris. I mean, again, given your experience and so on, you've got, and I think a lot of people who've served in the Canadian Armed Forces or police services and other things have a sense of that in a physical sense, but also mentally. Right? Like that feeling of danger, that feeling of realizing existential threats. And I think sometimes that is part of what I'm searching for as well as a professor, is no one should feel unsafe. No one should unnecessarily feel unsafe. There are some times in life that we find ourselves in situations where it inherently is a decision we're making to put ourselves in positions of danger. But that said, how do you create that level of clarity, or how do you create conditions for people to understand that actually being uncomfortable, especially in the realm of exchanging ideas and being tested, is something really healthy? In my mind, it's part of the animating spirit of what it is to be Canadian. We are the different people coming in, different cultures, different ways of knowing, being, and seeing. If we create a situation where, that means some of my ideas are going to be challenged, rather than seeing that as a threat or something that I need to get my back up about, you can also, in many cases, embrace that as something that challenges me to refine. If I don't have a good explanation of why I believe one thing versus another, maybe I want to reconsider that. What a gift that is if we approach it that way. On the other hand, there are sometimes threats, even in intellectual space, that are unsafe. In that sense, how do we make sure we're parsing those and not, and what I worry is not weaponizing language when we're feeling uncomfortable is suggesting that it's unsafe, and cutting off dialogue, cutting off debate, which again, to me, is the essence of being Canadian. It's respectful debate, and ultimately coming around to understanding what is our consensus, if we can find one. Consensus not being we all agree, it's can we find some kind of common ground where we don't disagree so much that we need to continue vocalizing it.